Yo, what is up guys? It is Yellowfin, and in this video, it is sneak peek time of the new update, Pacific Coast Highway, and it is an American update, and let me just tell you, I am very excited for this update because it's an American update. So obviously I've got the American bias. I'm going to be very excited about an American update in the first place. I love American cars in general, even the junkers. I'd be down to own a 1990s Mercury Sable or a 2004 Saturn Astra. I'd buy one and have it be some crazy project car that I'd do stupid stuff with. But that's why I'm really excited for this update, because there are some random cars that are probably useless, but I totally want to keep them. So let's just jump right into it with the first car, which is definitely useless, but I want to keep it. It's the RQ10 Mercury Comet, 27 second 0 to 60, 57 handling. It probably won't win any races unless you're racing a Volkswagen Type 2 bus, but it is a beautiful looking car that I'm definitely going to keep. And so there's honestly not much to say about it though. If you're a regular player that's just keeping cars for if they're good, this is not really the car for you. But if you're like me and just wants to keep random crap and max it out and just collect new update stuff and just work on collecting every American car, then you're in the right boat and this Mercury Comet is for you. Car number 2 is a bit more exciting though, which is this, the Lincoln Town Car. With great placement, I have to say. 13.4 seconds 0 to 60, 60 handling. It's also not that exciting of a common, not really exciting, not much going on for it. 102 top speed isn't too bad, but it's probably also heavy. It's definitely a boat. Probably over 2,000 kgs would be my guess. But still, it's a great looking car. Also, this shows we got Lincoln and Mercury both coming to the game. Definitely confirmed after those packs were leaked. But yep, Lincoln and Mercury are now coming to the game, which it's nice to see some confirmation, and also nice to see that happening in the first place, because that is 2 new brands, which is definitely very exciting. And we've got some more Lincolns and Mercurys coming up in this video, like this, the Lincoln Mark III. Now this one looks a bit more interesting, because as you can see, 9.90 to 60. The other one was 13.4. This one does have 57 handling, which is less, but 120 top speed. This one actually does look like a pretty promising dragster. 9.9, I don't really know commons maxed out what their stats will look like, but still, 9.9, 120 top speed. That will be a pretty decent 332 car, I bet. Might not win everything, but it also does look good as well. It's also a nice looking car. It does have those headlights in the front that do the weird thing where it moves upward, or maybe it goes downward actually. The little flap on the front goes downward. Those are actually some really nice looking headlights when they do go down, if you've seen those pop-up headlight videos. But that's enough of the Mark III. Let's move on to the next car, which is this, the Ford Model U. Very interesting. 11 seconds 0 to 60, 70 handling, and I'm assuming high ground clearance. Also a concept, which is interesting because low RQ concept cars are pretty useful from time to time. But I'm guessing this has high ground clearance, which means it's not going to be very useful compared to the other lower RQ standard tire cars. It'll just win on hill climb, I guess, and motocross track. Maybe it won't get DNF'd, but high ground clearance standard tire cars are not really that useful. So it's kind of meh, but still it's cool looking, and it is a lower Q concept, so it might have a niche somewhere. Then we've got this, the Mercury Cougar XR7. Also does not look super crazy good, but Mercury, also that Ford shows us that we will be getting new Fords in the new update as well, so that is pretty exciting too. Mercury Cougar XR7, this just shows we'll be getting more Mercurys and some Cougars though, so that'll be nice. Maybe we'll get some higher RQ ones, like some rares or stuff. I don't have any higher, or maybe, no, I believe I don't have any higher RQ Mercury Cougars, but I do have some higher RQ Mercurys from my pack. So let's just continue on going. There isn't really much to say about it. It's just a lower RQ dragster. We have a lot, like the Oldsmobiles and the Plymouths and stuff. Here's another one, the Lincoln Mark VII LSC SE. 9.1 seconds 0 to 60, 67 handling. Pretty just average all-around stats. I'd have to say they'll max out at, what, 75 handling? Yeah, so 75 handling and, I don't know, 7.6 0 to 60 maybe, something like that. Something around that range, so pretty decent, not too bad. It's just low handling, but that's because it's an American car, so they're going to have lower handling. But it's just another nice looking car too. So the uncommons and the commons aren't really that exciting. Another generic one, the Mercury Grand Marquis. I'll pause it so you can look at the card for a little bit, but 9.3, 70 handling, rear wheel drive standard tires, similar to a lot of the other American cars we have in the game. But the more exciting stuff is coming up, like this. The Plymouth XR. This one actually does look pretty promising. 7.2 seconds 0 to 60. So it's relatively fast. It's not super fast. Like we got cars in like the 5 seconds 0 to 60. 147 top speed though. And I feel like this car would have decent MRA. I feel like it would have like 70. For an uncommon, 70 MRA is pretty solid. I feel like it totally would have 70 MRA would be my guess. It'll probably max out at like 5.8 seconds 0 to 60 and like 150 top speed. So it will be a pretty solid dragster. Not a bad one. But 61 handling, and I'm actually not sure if this will be low or medium ground clearance. This will be interesting to see, but that also shows that we'll be getting new Plymouths, which is rather interesting, I have to say. Plymouth, I was not expecting to get an update in this new update, but it is confirmed we will be receiving some new Plymouths as well, which means I've got some new Plymouths I need to collect, because I have Plymouth completed right now as a brand. So, let's continue on. I believe it jumps to rare now. Yep, it does with the Lincoln Continental. This is pretty much just a generic rare, 8.2, 69 handling. It's nothing really that special. It's just a generic lower RQ standard tire rare. But the next car, this is a very cool one. The Ford Mustang Mach 1 Super Cobra Jet. 5.70 to 60, 125 top speed. Does not have super good like dragster stats, but we don't know its MRA yet. Could be medium ground clearance, could be low ground clearance. We're also not sure of that. 69 handling though is actually pretty high for an American dragster. Most of them have 67, 60, the 60 to 67 handling range. So 69 is a bit higher. Could be useful on the fast circuit. We'll have to see what those times end up, especially if the Mustang has good MRA. Also, it's just a beautiful looking car too, so. Mercury Marauder S55 as well. This is another one of the Mercuries. This is what I thought was maybe that Cougar, but nope, this is the Marauder. 5.70 to 60 as well. This one has 59 handling, but it has standard tires, making it higher RQ. The RQ is rather inflated though, 37. That Mustang was only 32 RQ with pretty similar stats besides better handling, 10 better handling at that. So it's going to win everywhere compared to the Mercury Marauder, but it has standard tires, but I feel like it might have some pretty solid MRA then. Thinking that its RQ is inflated by 5 points just for having standard tires, but 10 less handling. So that will be interesting to see. It's also just a really nice looking car. That's the thing. Some of these cars aren't really like game changers, but they're just cool. Like, even the you guys probably don't think the Lincoln Mark 8 is cool, but I'm like, oh boy, Lincoln Mark 8, I want one of these in my garage. So here we got the Lincoln Mark 8, 7.9 seconds 0 to 60, 70 handling. Nothing really special. It's just another generic all-rounder with low RQ, but this is a cool one though. Ford SVT F150 Lightning, another Lightning. We already have one in the game. This one is a lower RQ one. Will max out at 81 handling, probably like 5 seconds 0 to 60, maybe 4.8. Could get down to 4.8, 4.881, which honestly isn't too bad. Pretty decent stats. High ground clearance, I'd assume, considering the other one is high ground clearance. But it is cool to see another F150 Lightning. And there are 2 more F150s in this video as well, one of which I am very excited about because this is what I was hoping for when I saw Ford would be getting revamped with the addition of that Ford Bronco Raptor as well. Yeah, it's the Ford Bronco. Yeah, it's the Ford Bronco Raptor. That's what it is. The Ford Bronco Raptor, which I'm very excited for because I also hope they do a lower tier epic Ford Bronco, which would be like the Wild Track Sasquatch or something like that. That would be really awesome if they did something like that. But we'll have to see. I am just content with there being one Bronco. That's definitely going in the wish list if it isn't a prize car. Hopefully I can get that from the packs because I'm going to be opening up all the carbons and 1 million in USA premiums. So definitely subscribe if you're watching this video right now because new pack openings when the update drops will be happening. Crazy large openings as well. All the new update packs will be opened. Lincoln Navigator, you guys saw it. Nothing too special about it. Just generic off-roader. Ford Evos, this one's actually pretty interesting because 6.2 seconds 0 to 60 does look pretty promising. Also a 2020 car, and this Ford Evos has standard tires, which is also pretty interesting. I wonder if the other Ford Evos will switch to standard tires then. Will be interesting to see what happens with that in the future, or if that one will stay performance. But does look like a not too bad standard tire car with that 6.2 seconds 0 to 60. Looks pretty promising, honestly. So that's a 44 RQ. Then this next one, yep, there it is, the Mercury Messenger, 5.584. Solid handling, looks sort of like a Dodge, not the Dodge Venom, but that other one. I can't think of the name, but maxes out at 4.692. Probably similar stats to that, the Mercury Messenger. So probably won't be too bad. Decent all-rounder high RQ car. It looks like not really a game changer though, but decent all-rounder high RQ car. That's the thing. None of the cars really in this pack are game changers, but I still am down to keep all of them. Lincoln Navigator concept also 6.0, 68. Pretty generic average off-roader stats. 6.0 0 to 60 honestly isn't too bad though. It does look pretty promising. But now, or no, not this car, but the car after this. The Lincoln Continental concept 5.5, 71. Standard tires, rear-wheel drive. Interesting concept car. 150 top speed. Similar to like some of the Chryslers we have right now in the game. Some concepts and stuff like that. A lot of American concepts it seems like we'll be getting along. See, we had the Navigator concept, and then we also got the Continental concept. So it looks like we're getting the first generations of these cars, which is pretty interesting to see. But now it's time for the next car, which I'm very excited about. The Ford F150. That means we will actually be getting a high RQ F150 that's not a Raptor, which is what I was definitely hoping for. I really wanted this to be added to the game because I've made custom cards before. I've made a bunch of ultra rare Ford F-150s. It's funny that they just put Ford F-150 and not like 4x4 or like, I don't know, there's like 50 different packages like King Ranch or whatever. And there's a ton of different packages, but they just picked Ford F-150, just straight up base model everything. But 6.1, 69, pretty solid, similar to like the GMC Yukon. But really, I just want it because it's a Ford F-150. And it's also ultra rare. Like I have some of the other F-150s. I have the rare one that was rear wheel drive all surfs, but you don't really get much use out of a rear wheel drive all surfs F-150. You're going to get the use out of the 4-wheel drive all surface tire one right here. So that one's definitely going on my wish list for the new update of my top 10 cars. That's for sure. Mercury Meta One is just a worse Acura ZDX pretty much. That's all I really have to say about it. It's cool looking at least. Kind of looks like an Acura, or not an Acura, but a Cadillac SRX. But as you can see right here, this is also a very interesting looking one. Ford Mustang Mach 1. Meaning we're also getting some nice Mustangs in this new update too. Which is pretty cool because Ford's honestly been lacking some Mustangs. Especially considering how many Mustangs there are. There's a lot of Ford Mustangs. And we have like, I don't know, like 12 maybe. So the Mustang Mach 1 being added is definitely very exciting to see. 87 handling as well is very nice. That'll get it to 97. And I think like 3.597, something like that, I believe is what it'll max out at, which is pretty promising looking. That 97 handling on its own is just promising looking. 2021 as well, so definitely a very new car. This one is also an interesting one, the Ford F-150 Raptor 37 Performance Package. Now, let's stop and talk about this one because we already have 2 F-150 Raptors in the game. Ignoring the Ranger Raptor, we don't need to care about that one right now. We have the 2018 model and the 2014 model. The 2014 model has 73 handling. The 2018 model has 74 handling. One maxed out at 82, one maxed out at 81. This one, the 2021 model, only has 71 handling stock, which is 2 less than the 2014 model. And usually with Hutch, it goes by years with like which year has better handling. So maybe something happened with this Raptor, why it has crappy handling, or the Raptors will be getting a handling nerf. So that'll be interesting to see. Maybe in the patch notes or something, the current Raptors will get handling nerf, or maybe just this one gets 71 handling for some reason and just gets to be worse than the other two. So that'll be interesting to see when the patch notes are released. Will be an interesting thing to like, oh no, I just said the same sentence twice, so let's just move on from that with the last car being this. It's not the most exciting car, the Lincoln MKZ concept, but I mean, it's slightly cool, I guess. It's just kind of like a more expensive Acura TLSH, not TLSH all-wheel drive, the other one, the RLX or something. I don't know, that higher Acura, or I do know one, the Ford Fusion Sport. Ford Fusion Sport's 5.177, this is 4.875. Another concept, though, it does seem like they're doing a lot of Lincoln concepts, like first edition Lincolns. So it's kind of meh, but I can tell you this because I have released stuff. There is going to be a lot of legendary prize cards. That will be it for this video though, so thank you guys for watching. Definitely hit that subscribe button because we will have content, good content, coming out very soon. So definitely hit that subscribe button. Also the bell. You could hit the bell if you want, really, honestly. I don't care if you hit the bell or not. Most of my YouTube views come from recommendations and not subscribers, so also join the Discord, link in the description, and that'll be it for this video. I'm Yellowfin. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.